I'm Vanessa Maggi, owner and broker of Maggi Realty Group, and we're starting a series of At Home with Vanessa, and we're bringing people from the community, from Miami Shores. And I have here Kate, who's amazing. I've had the pleasure of seeing her work and just experience what she does. And I just want to interview her. She's got two main roles, and I'm sure she's got more. But the ones that I want to talk to her about right now is she's a treasurer for the Miami Shores Elementary School, which is amazing. And then she grew. I thought she was the originator, but she just told me off cameras that she actually grew this group that's on WhatsApp that has 500 plus women.
650 something like that.
Which is amazing, which is called Mom's Waves. And you can find there anything that you want to find out and just recommendations. It's just amazing. Like I said, I wish my kids, I had that before. But thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And I just also heard a beautiful story about your grandfather and your family. I mean, you don't meet a lot of people that are actually from Miami or South Florida. And I guess your family has deep roots in Key West and just being here.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your childhood and how you became, because you're an attorney also by trade, right? But you're not working right now because you have two little boys, which is beautiful. How do you start all of this? What motivated you to give back, right? Because that's something that I, as a business owner and mom, my kids are in their 20s, so I'm not going through that anymore, like, rushing and taking them here and there. I just want to give back and be of purpose, right? And that's a huge thing for me.
So yes, first of all, thank you for having me. It's so fun. It really is like deeply ingrained. My mom grew up in South Miami. Her dad, like you said, is born in Key West, 1908. She grew up in South Miami. We've been here a long time. This is our place. This is our home. And it's huge and it's very different, obviously, from when I was young. I grew up in what is now known as Pinecrest, but back then was unincorporated Dade County. I'm a Palmetto girl. And I come from a place where when I was young, my mom was running a family business with siblings. So we always were in the workspace, and our role models were women who worked themselves to death almost, you know what I mean?
I'm taking care of the house and the kids and
everything.
Yes.
And I saw my mom, you know what I mean? And I saw my aunts and I saw my family. So that was amazing. But at some point when the idea formed to potentially incorporate the village of Pinecrest, my mom was a part of this team of people, and it happened and they incorporated, and she was elected to the village of Pinecrest council and served for almost a decade, and that was wild. She was at that point already divorced from my father, and I'm one of three girls, and we all went with her. I was probably 8 or something, and we just went with her to the meetings, which at that point were taking place in the library at the Pinecrest Elementary. So it would be in the school library, the council meeting, all the council members, whatever village business was being conducted, and then me and my 3 sisters like at a table watching or doing homework or whatever it was, and probably other people's kids, you know what I mean?
So it was ingrained to you at an early age.
I knew so young.
Yeah.
I knew so young that you were supposed to be engaged, participate, serve your community members, and help out where you could. And it was really normalized for me. So time passes, I grow up, I leave, I come back, and eventually I settle here in Miami Shores.
Why Miami Shores?
So why Miami Shores?
Yes, that's why, because I have a story about Miami Shores myself. Why did I end up here? Yeah.
Wildly, when I grew up, I didn't know anything existed between the Heat Games downtown and Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. So I didn't know Miami Shores existed. But I had a girlfriend when I was working at Guardian Ad Litem, where I was probably almost.
And again, sorry to interrupt. You're working at Guardian. I mean, you needed to give back.
Yes, I always worked in public service. I actually really wanted to go to law school at American University, which has an amazing public service program, but I didn't get enough of a scholarship. And I thought, for what I'm investing in, which is a lifetime of public service, I probably can't afford this law school. So I chose University of Miami because they gave me more money.
Okay.
I just knew. I knew like I needed to be in public service. And so, so eventually when I graduated law school, I worked at the Guardian Ad Litem Program representing the kids who are in foster care. Difficult work, but absolutely a calling, and loved it. I still love them. And I'm in contact with, some of my people there. But yeah, I think, so that's
You
how
met
I met
somebody
my
from there, okay.
girlfriend, Kristen, who, she and her husband lived in Miami Shores. So I started coming to visit and I realized what a cute place. Not only
this
does
is
it,
how many years ago?
that's got to be 2012.
Yeah.
We were living, eventually, I was living in Sunny Isles with my husband. We had the first baby. We thought, should we, set up a new space? Should we move into a house? Should we look at Miami Shores? And then we thought, yeah, we need to look at Miami Shores. Like, we're going to buy Miami Shores. And then so we just did. That was our mission. And we fell in love. And here we are.
How long have you been here?
We moved here. It's coming on 6 years. We moved here in December 2019, right before COVID, which actually is part of my journey because I moved here right before COVID. I was a new mom and I had just left my career, a person who never thought I would leave the workforce. And I was like a ship lost at sea a little bit, right? Because I didn't have my people yet in the community. I was learning how to be a mom. I didn't have all the friends that you have that are like right beside you. I didn't have a village, I moved to this village, but I didn't have a village. And then nobody could talk to each other. Nobody could you couldn't meet up with people because COVID happened within 3 months. And so we got by just like everybody got by. And then somebody invited me to this Moms Making Waves chat. And I thought, oh, this is great. This really is one of my passions, which is community advocacy for children. And they were working on projects like playground and schools and things like that. And community of women. So that's, I think, part of what just really spoke to me right from the beginning. And I'm an organizer, obviously. And I think that was the journey. That was probably how it happened.
Yeah.
And I was able to really build a network, not only in our community, but also personally for myself. I built a little village through my work with Moms Making Waves, and that's how I found my people. And we now have, as I'm not sure, I think you know this, we have the offshoots where it's if you want to be in a book club, we've got 4, or whatever it is.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking for actually a book club, but it's funny you said that. I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
we have different book clubs. We have a mahjong group. We have a group just for Miami Shores residents. We have, I don't know, all those little things that if you want to talk about politics, little sub chats.
Yeah.
So people can find their communities within the community.
Yeah.
And that's been fun too.
And that's beautiful. And you said, it's funny though, that you said all your world just changed completely. You moved here, you didn't find your village, your people, you were a mom, COVID. My son just graduated, and one of the president of UF, when he gave his speech, and what really resonated to me, and this is what I tell my kids all the time, uncertainty. Be okay with the uncertainty. A lot of people are not. They're like, oh my God, and then just do things, right? He wanted to be a pastor, but he went to pastor school, and they're like, you're not a good speaker.
Not a good fit.
You're not, you're not reaching people's heart, even though he's a good speaker, but he was more of an academic guy. Mm-hmm. But he's from that, I met my wife. So everything that happens in your life has a reason for. You might not know or think what the reason is right now, but it happens. And then everything that needed to happen for him by him doing stuff and just being out there and being curious happened. Mm-hmm. And he ended up being the president of UF, right? But that was not what he thought his life was going to be. And it's happened to you too. Right.
Yeah.
You moved to the shores. You're obviously a huge advocacy person. You're I'm trying to find my and then you start finding this group and just making it bigger and bigger and just connecting people and being of service.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's all about it's really all about the journey if you can embrace that. Mm. And I think the act of leaving the workforce, which I say so slowly on purpose, because it was terrifying, of course, for a really long time.
Yes.
The act of that was so scary, and I just thought, embrace the journey a little bit. Something good will come.
I'm being a new mom too,
yeah,
so you're with a baby. You're okay.
Yeah, but I think I understood that I was being called to be more present with my kids because the work that I was in really wasn't allowing for that. And I tried, and I love them, but at that time they couldn't accommodate me being more present in my, with my family. And so, I just jumped right in.
I mean, we have a great school, Miami Shores Elementary. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Okay.
What is the school doing?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you have your kids there too. But yeah.
So my work with the school started, like we talked about off camera, because when I moved here, my son was very little. He was 1.5. We were not at school age, but I'm meeting, eventually I'm meeting the neighbors and talking to people. Where do they go to school? All of this stuff. I had one or two friends already with kids at Shores Elementary, so I knew that they loved it. I knew they were very happy with that school. But I had enough people saying to me at some point that they didn't send there or they wouldn't send there or whatever it was, that I thought, I'm like very curious about it, So me being me, I reached straight out to the school. And I at that point, it was 2 principals ago. It was Brenda Swain at that point, and I reached out to them and I just started connecting and learning about their space and who they were and what they were doing. I brought her and her then vice principal, who is our most recent former principal, Daniel Diaz, in for a Moms Making Waves meeting, one of the Zoom meetings. And it was beautiful. And they talked about the work that they do and we started connecting with them. And I think just like by the fact that I was connecting with them and learning about them, I started to feel like some of the stuff in the streets might not be exactly something I needed to trust. And I just trusted my instincts. So I worked enough with them that once it came time, I felt that it was the right choice for me and my family. And we've been really happy there. But more important than my role, my journey as a mom and making a school choice decision, which is an incredibly personal decision.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Especially in a state like this where they really set it up, where you have your choice. Like, you want to send your kid 45 minutes to a different public school, we want you to be able to do that here, my calling, I think, was to say, we're going to open our doors to the community. We want you guys to know your local elementary school. We want you to consider it an option. Send your kids here, don't send your kids here. We want you to know it exists, and it's a beautiful space where your kids might be happy, where you might be happy. Come. So we started doing the school tours. So part of my work, just sort of as a person, but also in my role as I serve on the Education Advisory Board here in Miami Shores. So we just started doing school tours. I coordinated with our principal for the last 2 years, Daniel Diaz, and he and his assistant principal, Ashley Miller, have done what turns out to be almost a monthly tour where we invite people from the community in. It's a group tour. We do about an hour of information about our school, all the questions that you need or want to know the answer to that you would not otherwise get just from checking out our website or talking to someone in the community. You can get answered, and then we walk you around and you get to see the space and feel like whether you send your kids here, about your local elementary school, because supporting your local gem of an elementary school is amazing for everybody, right?
Exactly.
You're a realtor. I don't know how many clients don't ask you about
They ask me about schools all the time, right? If a family comes and see the house, and that's why I'm here too, twofold, because I don't know enough about it. So obviously I'm going to gravitate towards some rows on what I know because I've been there. But it's a shame that I'm not educated enough, which I'll get educated about our local, school.
Yeah. Well, and one of our projects will be, now that we've got this going and the parents are welcome and we have a space for it, we are hoping, the Education Advisory Board has been hoping to bring in community leaders like yourself, the realtors, the business, in the community to come see it. Because if you're talking with families and you feel like you don't know the answers, we're ready to have that,
Of course.
So hopefully that will be upcoming.
Perfect. I look forward to it. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we're an A school. I am a parent at the school, and I'm also the treasurer of the PTA, the Parent Teacher Association. And yeah, we're an A school, and we're an excellent school. We have amazing teachers who really run the gamut. We have teachers who have been teachers for quite a long time. We have a teacher who I just was reading about. I can't remember why I was reading about her, but there was an article in the Herald during COVID. She had her retirement, and she was like one of those teachers who just loved teaching. It was her absolute calling.
That's amazing.
It was her true passion, and she was devastated. And you read the article about her, and she's
like, I don't want to retire.
But she did, and then she came back because retirement didn't suit her, and she's young and she wanted to give more. So she's back and she's teaching still. We have younger teachers with, maybe 5 or 7 years under their belt. but they're in a community of experienced teachers, so they have each other as a resource, which has been amazing. One of the things we get asked a lot, like what sets you apart from different schools, is that all of our teachers are certified in the area that they teach, which is nice. We don't suffer from the teacher shortage, at least not yet. I should do fingers crossed. Positions are filled. There's energy and like happiness and warmth, and it's
Have you seen more influx of Miami Shores residents actually putting their kids there after you guys started with the tours and just talking about it and just?
I have a lot. I don't have the data. I just haven't looked it up, sorry. But I have a lot of people who I meet in the school at the different community events that we do with the PTA and things like that, who say to me, "Oh, I did your tour. Thank you so much for having me. It like really opened my eyes, and we're so, different things like that." So I know anecdotally that something's happening, but I also have people who didn't send their kids there who are happy they did the tour, because that's also really important. You should know your school, you should know your family, and you run the math on your own and make your choices. But again, I think that circles back to the idea that you can support anything, even if your kid isn't, you can support anyone or anything if you think it's a great idea. If I didn't send my kids there, which I'm not, no one's forcing me to do that, but if I didn't send my kids there, I would still want to support our school in whatever way I can. You can be a member of the PTA and just do a little, contribution each year. You can run programming, you can sponsor did you get the honor roll? We're sponsoring an ice cream party or whatever it is, there's always ways to contribute.
No, but I would love to do a tour and just finding out more about it. And I think the realtors in the area should. Yeah. I don't know if they've done, but maybe we can organize something like that. And I think everybody will be super happy to go, because yes, I get a lot. I mean, that's one of the first questions. Yeah. If there's a family coming to see one of my listings, what schools do you guys have here? Yeah. And I do name it. And they're like, well, what do you know about it? I'm like, I know it's an A school. That's it. which is not good. It's the same thing with charter schools. I mean, with Dr. Charter, which I'm going to go and see as well. But what's next for you, and what do you think, which is a loaded question, we're lacking and we're missing in Miami Shores?
I think like the big thing that's been on my mind for 5 years is this community center. When I started sending my kids to programming, first of all, the programming in Miami Shores as far as recreation is wild and amazing. I mean, where do you find a marshmallow drop? Where are you going
it's
that
spectacular.
They're doing this thing with come meet Santa and slide? And you're not finding that anymore.
No, and that's what I tell people. When you're buying a house here and you're coming here, you're not just buying a house. You're buying into this amazing community that has all different events.
True.
I don't see it. I mean, I grew up on Miami Beach. We don't have that. I haven't seen that anywhere else. Is there a special place or spot that you like in Miami Shores, so you want people to know more about it? That's special to you.
I don't know how many people I want to know about it.
Ooh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. So my favorite place in Miami Shores is like in this little swing under my oak tree in my front yard. Okay. That's my peaceful place. Okay. And I, of course, got that little swing from one of the other moms in the chat, who was moving and sold it me for $25. But that is like the most peaceful place on earth, just like sitting under my oak tree. And quick shout out to the trees, because Miami Shores is full of them. Oh, it's beautiful. Yes. How lucky are we to have this?
I'm on 5th and 94th, and you have the whole street of 5th, that oak trees just covering. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Like, you really have to plan for that. And somebody did here. Find a tree to read a book or swing under or whatever, because, I mean, you can see it. Even for the kids at the playground, like, they have all those trees, which is beautiful and amazing. And I hope people are thoughtful about that too. My favorite place to go that isn't the piece of my oak tree is Tinta. I just love to sit at Tinta and just like have a coffee or a Game 7. But yeah, that's an amazing space.
And who would you suggest I call them to have this?
I mean, if you haven't had her, I think know Leanne G.
Yes, she's on my list for sure.
Leanne G is like Miss Miami Shores. And for me, I love that I know Leanne G. I can't believe there was a time in my life where I didn't know her. She's so inspiring to me. She's really like doing it all in a way that's like
I see both of you very, very similar.
She's like me on steroids. She's amazing, right? And I mean, I love it. Yeah, I just love knowing her.
Yeah, she's on the list. Yeah, just on the list for sure. I love her too. Yeah,
you gotta have her. And if you don't know Leanne, you should.
I think what you do is amazing. I'm so happy you're here. We need more parents like you, and again, we have a beautiful, loving community, And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is beautiful.